Hi, Gail. How are you, Gail? Happy New Year.
You couldn't hear me. Happy New I heard you. Happy New Year to you guys.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Same to you.
Can't
Yeah,
believe
look
we're here.
orange. I like Brian's backdrop, the North Pole. Wonder how he got that.
There's a reason for that.
Because you are at the North Pole?
No, maybe somebody visited some certain people when they were doing something else.
Well, to me, I like it.
Trying to get rid of it as we speak. Christmas is over.
Yes, it is.
Now we can see that handsome face.
A face made for radio.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, but I don't see Mrs. Saylor yet. So we'll give it a minute. Okay, it's 6:01. Should we get started and then see if she starts? Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:01 PM. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the
Allegiance to
flag
the flag
of the United States of America and to the
and to the
republic
republic for
for
which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible, with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
all.
All right, I have a couple of people coming in now. Okay, Sunshine Act. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, this is to announce that adequate notice of this meeting was given in the following manner. On January 8th of 2020, notice of this meeting was transmitted to the Burlington County Times and the Central Record, filed with the Township Clerk, and posted in the Office of the Business Administrator Board Secretary. Additional notification was made on December 10th of 2020 in the Burlington County Times to inform the public that this meeting will be held remotely utilizing Zoom. Okay, and per the agenda, our first item is public comment on agenda items. Do we have anyone in the public that wishes to be heard? Okay, I'm not seeing anyone. We'll move on to the next item. Results of the November 3rd, 2020 annual school election for Board of Education members serving 3-year terms effective January 2021 through December 2023. Dr. Kevin McCloy, 2,938 votes. Dr. Megan Jones, 2,877 votes. Mrs. Julia Saylor, 2,806 votes. I will now do the roll call. Mrs. Chamberlain,
Here.
Mrs. Saylor, okay. Mrs. Corey,
Here.
Mr. Dilks,
Here.
Colonel Hensky,
Here.
Dr. Jones,
Here.
Mr. Lepsis,
Here.
Dr. McCloy,
Here.
Mrs. Shoemaker.
Here,
Okay. Well, I guess we'll continue. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We have people coming in. With the oath of office. How have you proceeded in the past? Do we all do it at one time or do we do it individually?
We've done it all at one time in the past.
Okay, that's fine. So I will say it and then please repeat it after me.
Patty, could you hold 1 second? Judy's
Yes,
signing in. I got a hold of her.
good.
She hung up on me, so
Okay, that's kind of why I did the roll call first. I was supposed to do the oath first, but I'm trying to.
yeah, she did the oh crap
Okay,
and then hung up on me.
okay.
What can we nominate Judy for in her absence?
That's it.
Everything?
Everything.
Oh, here we go.
We should just tell her that Kevin and I did it already and then make her do it all by herself.
Make her do it by herself. That's what she gets for being late. There she is.
There she is.
Here I am. Sorry, folks.
Hello.
We made you chair a policy while you were gone.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, so Mrs. Saylor, we did the opening of the meeting. We're at the point of oaths for board members.
Okay.
And we're going to do it all as a group and I'll speak it and then you guys can repeat after me. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, I, and then your name,
Judy Saylor,
Hi, Kevin McCloy.
I'm Megan Jones.
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the
Support
the
Constitution
Constitution of the United
States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the
and the
Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
And
and
that
I
I
will
will
bear
bear
true
true
faith
faith and
to
allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and to the
and to the
government
governments established in the United States
United
and
States
this
and
state,
this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under
under
the
the
authority of
authority
the
of
people,
the
so help me
people,
God.
so help me God.
I, and then your name,
I, Judy
Kevin
Taylor,
McCoy,
I'm Megan Jones.
do solemnly swear or affirm
do
Do
solemnly
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 swear or
swear or
affirm
affirm
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I
that I possess the
qualifications
qualifications prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of a
for
Board
the
of
Member of
office
Education,
of a member of Board of Education,
and that I am not disqualified as a voter
and that I'm
and that
not
I am not
disqualified as a
disqualified
due
as
to
a voter
convictions of a crime
pursuant,
or
pursuant to code, nor disqualified due to conviction of crime.
pursuant to
pursuant to
code,
code, nor
nor
disqualified due to
disqualified due to
conviction of a crime
crime
Or offense listed in code,
or
or
offense
offense listed in code,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I
and that I will
faithfully
faithfully and impartially
and justly perform all the duties
and
and
justly
justly
perform
perform
all
all
the
the
duties
duties
of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
of that
of that office
according to the best of my abilities, so help me
so
God.
help me God.
Thank you all very much. Congratulations and welcome to the Board of Education.
Again.
Again.
The exciting things that we do. Okay. I did do roll call, Mrs. Saylor. I did put you in at 6:04. I would like to entertain nominations for President of the Board of Education.
I'd like to
Nominate Meg
nominate,
Chamberlain.
second, Brian?
I'm sorry, Dr. McCloy?
Nominate Meg Chamberlain.
Thank you. And a
Happy to
sec-
second that.
Mr. Lepsis, okay. Are there any other nominations? Meg, I think you're out there on a hook by yourself. Okay, thank you. I'll close the nominations. Do you do an individual vote or an all in favor?
I believe it has to be individual.
That's what I think. Okay, so we are voting on the nomination of Mrs. Chamberlain as President of the Board of Education. Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Absolutely.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCoy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Chamberlain,
Can I think about it?
no,
Yes. No.
no, I cannot think about it. And I gladly turn the reins of the meeting over to Mrs. Chamberlain.
Thank you. Can I have a nomination for vice president?
To nominate Judy Saylor?
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second that.
Do we have any other nominations for vice president? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
The adoption of the code of ethics. Recommendation to the approval of the following item. The Board of Education members will have the required Board of Ethics training session as required under statute. Resolved that the New Jersey School Boards Association's Code of Ethics shall be considered the official code of ethics of the Tabernacle Township Board of Education.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Vicky.
So moved was, I'm sorry.
That was Brian.
Brian.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
And second was Vicky.
Yes, yes.
Any questions or comments?
Just that you have to make sure you get to Jesse and get that training scheduled.
It's scheduled
Right.
for the January meeting.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
He was not available this evening.
I believe it was scheduled last year for tonight, so I find it fascinating that he wasn't available.
He had said he had 2 or 3 other ones tonight already.
All right. Roll call?
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Thank you.
The adoption of the official newspaper as the Central Record in Burlington County Times. Get a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second, Gail.
And first was
It
again,
was Kevin.
thank you. I'm sorry, I'm having difficult. time.
Sorry.
Okay.
Questions or comments? Roll call vote?
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
and Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes. Readoption of existing board bylaws, policies, and regulations.
So moved, Vicky.
Thank you.
Second,
Second.
Gail.
Questions or comments? Roll call?
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
and Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Thank you.
Affirm the depository as Republic Bank for all school funds. Motion?
So moved.
Steve?
Second, Kevin.
Second.
Kevin? Questions or comments? Roll call?
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
do it again, Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes. All right, so we want to appoint the negotiations committee for the TEA contract. I have asked if everybody's in agreement. So what I've come up with is Dr. McCloy will be the chairperson, along with Mr. Lepsis, Colonel Hensky, and myself. The negotiations committee for the principals and supervisors contract. Mrs. Shoemaker would be the head of the committee, along with Mrs. Corey, Mr. Diltz, and Mr. Lepsis. Any questions? We good with those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Flipping the page. Approval of curriculum. Can I get a
So
motion?
moved. Jones.
Jones, yep. Second.
Second, Vicky.
Vicky. Questions or comments? Roll call?
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Abstain.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes. Approval to designate Patty Palmieri as the Public Agency Compliance Officer and the Qualified Purchasing Agent for the 2020 and 2020 school year, 2021 school year.
This is Dan. I'll take that.
Ian, second.
Kevin.
Evan, questions or comments? Roll call?
Mrs. Corey,
Yes.
Mr. Dilks,
Yes.
Colonel Hensky,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Lepsis,
Yes.
Dr. McCloy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mrs. Saylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, committee appointments. The first person I mentioned will be the chairperson for the committee.
Okay,
And then the other three will be serve on the committee along with them. The ed tech would be Dr. Jones. Corey, Henske, Dilks. Human Resources would be Mrs. Saylor, Jones, Corey, Henske. If I get any of these wrong, please perk up. The Operations Committee would be Mr. Lepsis, Dilks, Shoemaker, Chamberlain. Policy would be Dr. McCloy, Jones, Saylor, Chamberlain. The New Jersey School Board Association Delegate, Ms. Corey, will you continue to take that role?
Okay, yes.
Okay. And Burlington County School Boards Association Rep, Mrs. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Yep, okay. Everybody good with those? Any questions? Okay, the committee meeting dates. So since we're going back to individual committees as opposed to committee of the whole, I've assigned specific Mondays for your committee. The time can be played around with a little bit, I think, but for the most part, we're going to stick with Ed Tech on the first Monday of the month. HR and operations will be on the second Monday of the month. If there should be a reason to have both of those committee meetings that month, then we'll make one at 6 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. to accommodate Mr. Bannon.
But the second Monday is our board meeting. No, it's not. Never mind.
Third Monday.
Never mind. It used to be the second Monday. Never mind. Go ahead.
Right. And then policy would be on the third Monday of the month prior to the regular board meeting. I did try to swap them around at some requests, but I couldn't make them work. I can't, till we clone people, I couldn't make them, I couldn't change them. So is everybody good with those?
Do they start next week or what are we looking at?
Can you get an agenda together before next week? At the board meetings, at the regular board meetings, every chairperson is going to have to report. So tonight would have been Ed Tech. I mean, what do you?
I think, look, if it's okay, Sean and I'll talk. If there's anything that is really fervent that we need to get before the meeting in January, we'll hold a meeting on a different date if that's necessary. And if it's not, with the understanding of the rest of the board, that obviously we'll go next in February at the first Monday.
Right.
And that way next week, if necessary, HR and operations can meet and we just get on schedule right away, unless anyone is opposed.
Right. No.
Mr. Bannon, on the 11th, do you want to have an operations meeting? Is there a need for it, or should we wait till the second Monday in February?
We may very well be in need for that. I'll
Okay,
go
I
over
will.
that with Patty and get back to you tomorrow, Brian.
Sounds like a plan. I'll block it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that would apply for HR also, Judy.
Yeah, similarly.
So there's a need for that meeting?
I
Thank
think
you.
operations might be more pressing this month than HR, but we will get back to you both tomorrow, if that's okay with you both.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and then Kevin, whoop, there you are. Kevin, if you find a need for the policy meeting on the third Monday, set something up and send it out.
Yep, that's fine. It'll basically, for the most part, unless Sean has something that comes up in between, it'll be based on if there's a policy alert for that month or not.
Exactly, that's why I put you right before the regular meeting. So, okay. Board liaisons appointments, New Jersey School Board Association. Is that you, Ms. Shoemaker, right?
No, that's Gail.
That's Gail.
Mhm.
Gail, are you okay to carry on with New Jersey School Board Associations?
Sure, no problem.
The
The next one's me.
next one's you, right? And then Vicky and I are gonna swap. I'm gonna do HSA. The Ed Fund, will that still be you, Colonel Hensky? And then CPAG will be Ms. Shoemaker. School Wellness Committee, Dan? Bobbing his head.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
And the ever popular Township Council. Dr. Jones, are you
Sure.
willing to put in all that extra time?
Sure, why not?
Gotcha. All right, is everybody good with what we decided on? Everybody comfortable with their committees and liaisons?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll move on to miscellaneous. Anything? Seeing nothing. How about any new business? Seeing nothing. Move on to public comment. Anybody? Seeing none? Go for it, Brian.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Who
Vicky.
seconded it? Who seconded it?
Vicky.
Vicky?
Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? All abstain. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
Happy
Happy
New Year.
New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year,
Cheers.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.